Welcome back to the Sticky Art channel. If you're new here, my name is Justin, and in this video I'm going to show step by step how to draw the all-new iPad mini 6th generation box art on the all-new iPad mini 6th generation tablet using the app Procreate. Starting off with a new canvas, you want to use at minimum the screen size preset, and make sure to turn the DPI up to 300 so you get those extra crispy lines. Next, on layer 1, I'm going to use the color selector to pick the color for the background and drop it in. Next, I'm going to add a layer, and this is where I'm going to start working on the main font. And for this piece, I'm only going to be using one brush, and that is the calligraphy monoline. I picked a light purple. At this point, it doesn't really matter what color as long as it stands out from the background. This is just going to serve as a base. And I'm just going to use simple shapes to build up the pieces of the letter. After building up the eye, I'm just going to duplicate those layers and shift them over to start with the next letter and build up from there. I ended up grouping different parts of the layers, but if you just want to make an individual layer for each letter, that'll also work just as well. Having each letter on its own layer will make it a lot easier to make small adjustments down the line. And I'm coming back with the eraser brush and just cleaning up some of the lines. I am using a different brush than my main monoline brush that I'm using for putting down the color. For the eraser, I am using the inking syrup brush. This is a pressure sensitive brush that gives me a little bit more control. Some of the parts of this design are very symmetrical. So rather than trying to draw it and having a difficult time with that, I'm just going to go ahead and use the selection tool, copy and paste, and I'm just going to flip it vertically and horizontally. For the second eye, I was able to just duplicate the first eye. And then connect the bottom part of the eye to the top part of the end. Once I got all the main parts of the letters down, I went back and cleaned everything up. And once I had everything cleaned up, I flattened all of the groups and then merged all of the letters down into one layer for all of the letters. I'm going to start a new layer for the main color gradient. For this layer, I turned the clipping mask option on, and I started with the brightest color on the left and just made a large box and filled that in. There are a lot of ways to get gradients in Procreate. One way that I found that worked well is I went into the layer adjustments and I'm using the Gaussian blur, selected that for the layer, and then adjusted the slider by dragging my pen to the right and left and fine-tuning the amount of Gaussian blur that I wanted. And on a separate layer, I repeated this process with some lighter pink colors. Once I got the gradient nice and smooth, I added another layer, and this one is going to be for the shadows. Using a color that is a little bit darker and a little bit cooler in the shadow areas. And I'm just going to block in the areas where there are some shadows. Once again, I'm using the eraser to clean everything up. And I'm going to go back into the Gaussian blur and blur everything out. This time I'm not going to blend it out as much. And I'm going to go into the transparency and turn that down a little bit. And then I'm going to come back in using the eraser brush at 100% power and get in some clean lines. This will help differentiate the shadows from the light. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you sticking around and watching all the way through. I put a lot of effort into these videos, and I would love some feedback on what you think of the new style of step-by-step voiceover tutorials like this. Or if you want to see more of something else on the channel or any other suggestions, let me know that in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, as well as subscribe and turn on notifications for when I post my newest videos. And going forward on the channel, I'll be posting about 2 to 3 times a week, as well as doing live streams on the weekend. Let me know in the comments down below what time and time zone that you think would be best for live streaming. I want to pick a time either on Saturday or Sunday to do a live stream, as well as one time during the week. And the final steps for the last layer of shadows is to use the Gaussian blur as well as opacity to get everything fine-tuned. Clean it up with the eraser again. And there you have it. That is how you draw a iPad mini 6th generation box art on an iPad mini 6th generation. Over on Instagram, I asked what I should add to the iPad mini box art between drip and flames, and the popular vote was drip, so I went ahead and added some drip. I also changed up the colors to make it a little bit more my own design. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe and turn on post notifications for when I post my newest videos. And until next time, peace.